does choosing myself feels more dangerous than staying? Because your mind may recognize that something needs to change while your protective system still experiences change, separation, and uncertainty as danger. Hello, beautiful soul. Have you ever known that a relationship is hurting you, but you felt terrified when you tried to choose yourself? You imagine setting a boundary, stepping back, or saying, I cannot continue like this. Then the fear arrives. What if they finally change after you leave? What if you never find love again? What if you destroy something that could have been saved? You may think, staying is hurting me, but leaving feels unbearable. If this resonates with you, stay with me. Today we are exploring why choosing yourself can feel more dangerous than remaining in a painful pattern, and how to take one safe step without forcing yourself into a decision you are not ready to make. Why does choosing myself feel so wrong? Because choosing yourself may activate guilt, grief, and fear long before it creates freedom. You expect relief. Instead, your chest tightens. You cannot sleep. You replay every loving memory and question whether you imagine the painful ones. Your mind says, I know this relationship is exhausting me. Your heart says, but I love them. Your fear says, what if this is my last chance? You may describe it as, my brain is at war with my heart. You create a boundary and immediately want to remove it. You ask for space, then panic when they give it to you. You decide to stop chasing, but their silence feels like proof that you never mattered. Then they say, you are abandoning me, you are rushing me, you clearly do not love me anymore. And choosing yourself begins to feel like cruelty. You may return not because the problem has changed, but because returning temporarily stops the fear. The relationship still hurts, but for a moment you no longer have to face the unknown. Why can familiar pain feel safer than an unknown future? Because the familiar gives your body a map, even when that map keeps leading you back to the same painful place. You know how to survive this relationship. You know when to remain quiet. You know how to calm them, excuse them, wait for them, and recognize the small signs that affection may be returning. The unknown gives you no such instructions. Who are you without waiting? What happens to the future you imagined? What do you do with the years you invested? Research has found that fear of being single can be connected with lower personal and relationship well being. Other research suggests that Increasing this fear may increase a person's willingness to settle for less. This does not mean you must leave. It means fear can influence what you are willing to tolerate. Let me tell you about someone. I'll call them Morgan. Morgan repeatedly decides to step back from an uncertain relationship, but each time they imagine an empty home, lonely weekends, and the other person becoming happy with somebody else. Morgan returns. Not because the relationship has become safer, but because the imagined future feels more frightening than the familiar disappointment. Morgan interprets the relief of returning as proof this must be love. But relief does not always mean that a choice is healthy. Sometimes relief simply means that uncertainty has temporarily ended. Does fear mean my boundary is wrong? No. Fear tells you that something feels threatening. It does not automatically tell you whether the boundary is right or wrong. Fear is important information, but it is not always a final instruction. Sometimes fear warns you about genuine danger. Sometimes it warns you that you are doing something unfamiliar. This is why we do not want to say, my fear is silly, but we also do not want to say, I feel afraid, so I must go back. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid will happen? Is the fear I will miss them, I will feel lonely, they will blame me, I will regret it? Or are you afraid they may threaten, stalk, punish, or harm you? These situations require different responses. If you fear retaliation, coercion, or violence, do not rely only on a calming exercise and do not announce a plan that could place you at greater risk. Seek confidential support from a qualified local domestic abuse service and create a safety plan. If the danger is emotional uncertainty, grief, or guilt, you may be able to help your body discover that comfort can be survived without immediately abandoning your boundary. How do I choose myself without forcing a huge decision? You begin by creating one small experience in which you protect your well being and discover that you can survive the discomfort that follows. Try this 4 step process. In step 1, name the choice. Do not begin with, should I leave forever? Ask yourself, what is one healthy choice I need today? Maybe you need to delay answering a pressuring message. Maybe you need one evening that belongs to you. Maybe you need to tell someone truthworthy what has been happening. In step 2, separate danger from discomfort. Place both feet on the floor and ask yourself gently, am I feeling unsafe right now, or Am I experiencing the discomfort of doing something new? If you are unsafe, please seek appropriate help. If you are uncomfortable, breathe out slowly and allow the feeling to move through you without immediately reversing your decision. In step 3, keep one promise to yourself. Choose something small and specific, something like, I will not cancel tonight's plan because I feel guilty. I will wait until tomorrow before replying this message. I will write down what happened before accepting another promise. Every promise you keep begins rebuilding self-trust. In step 4, observe rather than persuade. Notice how the other person responds when you have reasonable need. Can they disagree respectfully? Can they allow you time? Or do they use blame, pressure, or withdrawal until you surrender? You do not need perfect explanation. Their response gives you information. But if you understand the pattern and still feel physically unable to choose yourself, deeper private work may help you explore what the fear is protecting. My work cannot decide whether you should stay or leave, but it can help you become calmer and clearer, so fear is no longer making every decision for you. If you feel ready, you are very welcome to book a free clarity call with me. I will always be honest with you, and if I do not believe my work is right fit for you, I will tell you. Episode 4, Reflection on Choosing Myself. Choosing yourself does not require you to stop loving them. It asks you to stop leaving yourself whenever love becomes uncertain. Place both feet on the floor. Take one slow, comfortable breath. Notice the surface supporting you. Ask yourself, what is one truth I keep abandoning because accepting it feels frightening? Let the answer come gently. Take as much time as you need. Then ask yourself, what is one small way I can remain beside myself today? A pause, a boundary, a conversation with someone safe, a promise you keep. Please repeat after me. Fear can be present without controlling my next step. And choosing myself is not an act of cruelty. You do not need to decide your entire future in this moment. One honest, supported step is enough. What do I take from episode 4 about choosing myself? The fact that a choice feels painful does not prove that it is wrong. It may mean you are stepping beyond the pattern that once made you feel protected. Beautiful soul, Remember this: you do not have to choose between loving another person and remaining loyal to yourself. Your task today is not to force a final decision. It is to make one safe choice that tells your body, I will not leave you behind. In episode 5, I will guide you through a deeply relaxing, hypnotic ASMR reflection to help your body begin experiencing letting go as safe as possible without giving up on your capacity to love. Please subscribe so you do not miss anything important. My mission is to help as many people as possible to stop chasing unavailable love, return to themselves, and become free to live their best lives to their fullest potential. I'm sending you so much love and light. Speak soon.